31 years ago today, on the South Lawn of the White House, President George H.W. Bush signed the Americans with Disabilities Act. He was surrounded by disability advocates and bipartisan members of the United States Congress, just as we are today. Speaker Pelosi, welcome, by the way, Madam Speaker, Chairman Leahy, Leader McCarthy, Senator Casey, Congressman Scott, Congressman, where is he? There you are, Paul. You understand this better than anybody does. And I want to thank you, Congressman, for all your work. And I want to thank you all for being here. Second, by the way, where's Mom? Mom, is she here? Oh, she's watching. Okay, I thought you looked, I said, Mom is out there. I was going to ask her to stand up, but Mom, you can't stand up if you're home. But folks, thank you for what you've done. The second gentleman is here as well. Thank him for being with us as well. And some of the same folks who fought so hard for this landmark legislation are with us today. I just got off the phone with one of them, a guy named Tom Harkin. And 2 days ago, I was on the phone with one who just had his 98th birthday, Bob Dole. But no one worked harder than Tony Coelho to get this done. House Majority Leader Steny Hoyer. Others weren't able to join us today, but were instrumental in bringing this to life. Dear friends, as I said, like Tom Harkin and Bob Dole. And I also spoke, as I said, Bob wanted to pass on his regards, as did Tom. Tom's up in Wisconsin, working on, he said, on ADA, doing something up there, and I didn't explain exactly what. There's still more with us that are here in spirit, like Ted Kennedy, Major Owen, the Congressman Major Owen, countless other advocates. I was enormously proud to be a co-sponsor of the ADA, as Pat Leahy was as well, if I'm not mistaken, as a member of the United States Senate. And I'm proud to be here today as president alongside so many fearless champions who represent the ongoing legacy of this law from the foundations to its future. 31 years ago, after its passage, many Americans have never lived in a world without the ADA. Generations have grown up not knowing a time before it existed. But many of us can still recall in America where a person with disability was denied service in restaurants and grocery stores, and could be, where a person using a wheelchair couldn't ride in a train or take a bus to work or to school, where an employer could refuse to hire you because of a disability. An America that wasn't built for all Americans. Then we passed the ADA and made a commitment to build a nation for all of us, all of us. And we moved America closer to fulfilling that promise of liberty and justice, and maybe most importantly, dignity and equality for all. You know, and perhaps most importantly, we did it together. This was a Democratic bill signed by a Republican president, a product of passion and compassion, not partisanship. Progress that wasn't political, but personal to millions of families. I'll never forget the moment the ADA passed. And you may remember, Pat, standing on the floor of the United States Senate, and Tom Harkin sought recognition, he rose. And the first time in the history that I'm aware of, in the United States Senate, he stood up and he signed in a speech to his brother. Tom wasn't just sending a message to millions of deaf and hard of hearing folks. He was speaking to his brother, Frank. It was personal to him. It was personal to Bob Dole as well, who lost the use of his right arm in a heroic effort during World War II, who laid out in a hospital for almost 3 years. His injury is listed, and they've also lasted an entire lifetime. But like so many Americans, he turned his disability, his apparent limitation, into greater purpose and will. He made the rights of disabled Americans a lifelong cause. And for more than 60 million Americans living with disabilities, the ADA is so much more than a law. It's a source of opportunity, participation, independent living, and respect and dignity. The bulwark against discrimination and a path to independence. And for our nation, the ADA is more than a law as well. It's testament to our character as a people, our character as Americans. It's a triumph of American values. But of course, this law didn't bring an end to the work we need to do. Today, too many Americans still face barriers to freedom and equality. But thanks to this movement that spans all races, beliefs, backgrounds, and generations, we're once again making progress together. In my first day in office, I was proud to sign an executive order establishing a government-wide commitment to advancing equity, including people with disabilities. And I was proud to appoint the first ever White House Disability Policy Director, Kim Noxted. Where are you, Kim? Where's Kim? Thank you, Kim. And I'm ensuring that dignity and rights of disabled Americans are lifted up in every policy we pursue, from continuing to make sure that this administration looks like America, appointing people with disabilities to positions across the government. In the American Rescue Plan, we were able to include substantial support for schools that better serve students with disabilities and expanding access to vaccines for disabled Americans. As part of my Build Back Better plan, it was already mentioned, we proposed $400 billion to expand access to home and community-based care, helping people with disabilities and older adults live more independently. And I'm glad that Congress is beginning to move on the Better Care, Better Jobs Act, championed by my buddy Bobby Kasem. Bobby, thank you, which builds on that effort. This past year, the entire nation saw just how vital our caregivers are and how critical home-based care truly is for so many Americans. This legislation will help ensure that caregivers are fairly compensated for their work. In addition, I've also called on Congress to eliminate the discriminatory sub-minimum wage provisions that too often keep people with disabilities from getting good jobs with fair wages. Because of additional executive orders I've signed, we are working to remove barriers that hold back disabled Americans from exercising their sacred right to vote. And we're ensuring that the federal government is a model employer when it comes to wages, accommodations, and opportunities to advance people with disabilities. That's a firm commitment. And today, finally, I'm proud to announce a new effort, the first of its kind, to help Americans grappling with long-term effects of COVID-19 that doctors call long COVID. Many Americans who seemingly recover from the virus still face lingering challenges like breathing problems, brain fog, chronic pain, or fatigue. These conditions can sometimes rise to the level of a disability. So we're bringing agencies together to make sure Americans with long COVID who have a disability have access to the rights and resources that are due under the disability law, which includes accommodations and services in the workplace, in school, and our healthcare system, so they can live their lives in dignity and get the support they need as they continue to navigate these challenges. We've made important progress, but we still have work to do. We have to keep going to ensure that every single American has a chance to contribute their talents and thrive and succeed. And I know that today's fearless advocates, some of whom are with us today, are going to accomplish incredible things. People like Mr. Tootle. Where are you? Stand up, man. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You know, I want to thank you for your continued efforts to build an America for everyone. And as I said, you courageous advocates who led the way 31 years ago, a long time before the foundation for progress is strong, though. It's part of the more moral bedrock of our nation and something every American should be proud of. Now it's my honor to sign the proclamation on the 31st anniversary of the ADA. I want to thank you all. May God bless you and all of you dealing with disabilities. You are an inspiration to all of us. I really mean it. You're an absolute inspiration. May God bless you all, and may God protect our troops. And I'm going to walk over and sign this. I'm going to invite up, though. Nancy, come on up. Stenny, I think we ought to get you up here. You're a big part of it, Tony Quello. Am I leaving anybody out? Pat, you were there at the time, weren't you? Well, get your rear end up here and put you. The leader is taking his camera because Pat would rather use his camera than I think anything else. Yeah, come on. Tony, you get right in the back here. You were a big, gigantic part of this. Okay.
Pat, come on.
All right. Anniversary of the Americans with Disabilities Act 2021. Good to see you. Madam Speaker. What? I will, but I want to make sure I got all the places. Thank you, everybody. Let's keep it going. Well done.